if you've opened this video, this message is clearly for you. You will be blessed with receiving all of the abundance that was actually always there. I would think it's similar to opening a tap of water and letting the water run through. Until you open that, the water won't come out. But once you open the flow of energy, once you are present and you enter a state of flow, once you start communicating your own truth from yourself, this is how to access your inherent abundance, your wealth, your freedom. That is your ticket to experiencing a new earth. And while money is still a means to expand, we need to honor that. Because if you honor yourself, you'll want to expand. I got these two cards. So the first one is communication. It reminds us to run every piece of information, both incoming and outgoing, through our heart, the center of our truth, to stay in the flow of source and balanced exchange. It's raining now, so I'm gonna go inside and keep going. I see you in a second. So, communication is the reason why you're gonna become a millionaire in this lifetime. There's no one else that can communicate what you can actually communicate. You communicate by being your authentic self, by letting go of that idea you have of yourself and those limitations that you impose on yourself. So when you say, I'm not good enough in this, I'm not worthy of that, that is not for me, that's a limitation from your mind. And actually, when you let go of that label and you start communicating, the path is going to be shown, and you're going to be able to communicate in a richer way. There's something that speaks to you and through you once you become one with your true self. It's not your past. You let go of your past. It's just in the now. In the now lays your power. And money is energy. Your power is source power. And that is what opens. You are so powerful. And communicating your truth, not from your ego, not forcing, not trying too hard to bring a project to life, but allowing, becoming one with every aspect. Because you have something to communicate that is yours. And you know it within you, no matter the circumstances, and you can remain in presence in the most adverse or apparently negative circumstances, and start communicating from yourself and emanating love and joy from your heart. And that is the communication I'm talking about. That is going to lead you into a set of synchronicities, and you won't have to do anything other than remaining in your heart space. The work is going to become passion, because you're going to have this urge to communicate. It could be in any form. It could be art, but it could be anything. Just your light, when it's on and not off by everything that we throw at ourselves and we believe to be. When we let go of that, when we turn on that light and we communicate from our hearts, that's the key to your abundance. I had a few requests talking about money, as if money was the only thing that is between a spiritual awakening or having a different job, a different relationship. It's always because of the bills you have to pay or because of situations that force you to remain in a place where you don't want to be. But it is when you make the internal shift that everything shifts outside of you as well. But you need to communicate and lead from your heart. Can't be any other way, because when it's not aligned with your original blueprint, with yourself, it can only go so far. But yourself is limitless. It carries all the abundance within. And that's within, so without, you know that. So the second card is alchemy. And this is where it gets interesting, and also it's with the experience here on this earth that we can make anything turn into gold. And what you had to do to rise just like a phoenix. That lesson might be the lesson someone else is needing at this point. So that is why shining your light is healing and might awake others. In this specific moment in the world, there's like a seeming division, and it is in this division that we can alchemize with what we have in the present moment, that we can turn it into gold, into a teaching, and that is gonna improve your quality of living. That actual awakening that can happen in an instant is actually by contrast. So whatever you experience that you don't prefer, you can alchemize in order to learn the lesson and shift your frequency, because sometimes we are still holding on to things that make us suffer. So we switch that suffering, because every day there's going to be something else until we truly embody our hearts. It's going to be like, that feels off, or I wish I didn't have to experience that just now. And the moment you learn to be comfortable on the inside, that's where everything externally shifts. And that's the type of transmutation, alchemy, that is really important these days. And also that alchemy can turn into art. That suffering, that shadow work that you've been through can be channeled into art, and that will help others to shine their light. Only by seeing what you did, only by listening to your song, only by reading what you wrote, only by having a conversation with you. You never know how you can help some other person. And just by sharing your true light, just by allowing that to shine through in whatever situation you might be living, that is how your light will expand, and you will raise your frequency, and you will get to communicate that further, and that is going to turn into a synchronicity, and that synchronicity into some other synchronicity, and that will lead you to your abundance. As I was saying before, money seems to be the case and the apparent problem for a lot of people. It certainly was for me as well in the past. And I can say that the moment I actually started trusting, instead of being that stressed out all of the time and trying to make things work. You don't have to make things work. When there's a challenge, you can face that challenge by looking at it differently, with a shift of perspective, but not with internal stress, not with internal suffering, not with panic. That is no longer the way, because those states of being are in a different frequency, and that is not the frequency of your abundance, of your wealth. So it starts internally. You know, when you let go of something and all of a sudden it appears. You were waiting for an email, you were waiting for a call, you were wanting something so bad that you said, okay, all right, might never happen. And then you get that email instantly. That's because you shift your attention internally. And you cannot rise, you cannot ascend with all that weight. You need to be present now with an open heart now, and it takes just a decision. And that is what's going to lead you to your abundance, no matter your situation. Again, it's internal, and then it reflects. As I was saying in one of my previous videos, you will always have an excuse, a very valid excuse, a very real feeling, situation. But it's what you do internally with that situation that will bring you out. It's not trying to think of a way and how I do this, how do I force this, what help is gonna come from outside. If I keep thinking, and if I keep trying, if I keep pushing, you get nothing. And that's why you remain in that loop, because again, it's a frequency. And it's like a pair of lenses. I was also saying that in my previous video. If you wear a pair of lenses, you can only see a certain color, let's say. And you cannot appreciate any other colors until you take off the blue glasses and you put on the red ones or the green ones. But that is only another aspect of your personality. You can actually take all of that. You can put those away and just remain open to every single color, every single possibility. And that is when you get all of the expansion you were always longing. Because you no longer need it. You are it. You embody it. Anybody? This way. So if you can, I would encourage you to go and watch my video on how to receive messages from Source, because that's how you start. And by sharing that, you'll find your abundance. And the minute you get a different voice in your head telling you otherwise, that's the voice of your conditioning. That's the one that will no longer has power over you once you start entering a state of flow frequently. In this state, you no longer want that thing so badly. In this state, you are everything. So you have everything. Again, it's a frequency. And as I was saying before with the different lenses, when you remove all of the different possibilities and options that you label, you get access to infinity, source energy, and your power lies there. You're way more powerful than you know. So start showing up as your true self. Start being your true self and enjoy your beautiful life. So hope you enjoyed this video, and just know that you have the power to create and to align with the highest version of yourself. You do. You certainly do. So don't listen to limitations. Just listen to your own guidance. Learn to discern and unlearn. Remain trusting your guidance. You got this.